A pressured mind will throw out the next useful step because it isn't the whole answer. Sending one message doesn't finish the project. Writing down the numbers you need doesn't make the money appear. Asking for help doesn't hand off the responsibility. So the move gets dismissed as too small. And you go back to carrying the whole thing in a shape you can't put down. That's the pattern this next worksheet interrupts. I'm Kevin Allen Kerber. This is the Pressure Audit Kit walkthrough of the fourth and awesome worksheet, the Pressure Reduction Menu. By the end of this one, you're going to have one action with a date and a time on it that takes a layer off. Not the whole load. One layer. That's the point, not the compromise. Bring the pressure and the rule you've been working with. The instruction across the top is precise, so let me read it the way it's written. You don't have to solve the whole pressure to reduce one layer of it. Choose one action that respects what's real while refusing to feed the part that's inflated, inherited, or impossible to control. 5 categories across the top. Clarify, complete, communicate, release, support. 2 examples under each one. Then a big box for the action you choose with a time and a date. And down in the corner, 3 lines that pulls the whole audit together. One action, not one from each category, and not the most ambitious one. One move that fits the layer you're actually trying to reduce. Let's walk through them. Clarify. For pressure that's vague, foggy, no edges on it. This is the one when you can't act because the demand hasn't taken shape yet. If money's circulating as, I can't afford anything, write the balance, the amount due, and the date. Those numbers might show you a serious gap that needs solving. They might also show you that 4 separate worries got welded into one big fear. Clarify is not endless analysis. You're looking for the one missing fact or number or deadline or sentence that makes the next move visible. Complete. For the open loop that keeps draining attention. This one does not mean finish the project. It means close one loop that keeps reopening, like a message you've been postponing that might take 4 minutes but occupy 4 days. Closing it frees the attention even though the larger thing is still there. Careful here. Don't grab the biggest unfinished task because it looks the most responsible. Pick a loop that can actually close. Communicate. For when something needs to be said, or asked, or just named. The page gives 2. Ask for one specific form of help, and tell the truth about one limit. Specific matters. Can you get the groceries by 6 is usable. I need more support leaves both of you guessing. And telling the truth about a limit sounds like, I could finish the first section today. I can't get you the full report before Monday. That might disappoint somebody. Doesn't make it false. Communicating doesn't guarantee you get the response you want. What it does is take out the pressure that comes with guesswork and withheld information. Release for something you're carrying that isn't yours to control. Read the printed wording closely because release gets misheard as walking away from responsibility. It says, remove something unnecessary, not something merely uncomfortable. Those aren't the same. And the difference is the whole category. An unnecessary obligation might be a meeting that doesn't need you anymore, a standard nobody asked you to hold, or a favor you volunteered for before you checked your week. And the second one, rest without turning it into a moral debate, which means resting without spending the entire hour prosecuting yourself for resting. 5. Support. For when the pressure needs help, structure, or backup. Support is more than disclosure. You can tell someone you're overwhelmed and leave you both with no idea what would change anything. So tell them what would actually help. A ride, a second set of eyes, a moved deadline, a meal, maybe an hour without interruption, somebody sitting next to you while you make a hard phone call. And support is the right answer when the pressure is genuinely bigger than one person's resources. Asking for it isn't proof the rule was right about you. Now check the one category that fits the layer you want to reduce. If two of them fit, ask, what's keeping the pressure active right now? You haven't sent the message, but that's because you don't know what you're asking for yet. So then clarify comes before communicate. Or the task is finished, but you keep reopening it to improve it. That's release, not complete. Match the mechanism, not the topic. Now pick your action. Take one of the two printed under your category. If it fits. The menu's deliberately small. It keeps this page from turning into another project plan. If neither one fits, pick something that does the same job and stays just as specific. Stay inside the category you choose. Don't invent a sixth. Write it in the box and write it as a verb and an object. Deal with finances is too big to start. List the 3 bills due before Friday you can actually do. Fix the relationship isn't a next step, but ask when we can talk without interruption is. Under the box, a date and a time. Those aren't there to punish you. They're there to keep the action from staying an admirable idea. Pick a time that respects real conditions. If it needs another person, pick a window when they're reachable. If you're wrecked, don't schedule the hardest thinking of the week for the hour your attention is at its worst. And if the thing takes 5 minutes, don't push it out 3 weeks because the larger problem feels heavy. Write a real date and a real time. Now the 3 lines in the corner. This is where the whole audit lands. First, the pressure I need to respect is name the legitimate part, the part you don't want to minimize. My body needs rest. The payment is due Friday. My kid needs a straight answer. Respecting the pressure means acknowledging the demand accurately. It doesn't mean obeying every rule that grew up around it. The rule I'm ready to question. Bring forward what you circled on page 4. Questioning it doesn't mean replacing it with a better belief today. It means the rule stops passing as a fact. Now, the third one, the next honest step, might be the same action you already wrote, might be a slightly more grounded version of it. Honest means it accounts for the actual condition and your actual capacity. A dramatic promise made under pressure usually isn't honest. I'll finish everything tonight is often just an attempt to quiet the anxiety. I'll send the update and finish the first section by 5. Won't satisfy the rule. It'll be true. Write it. Now look at the page. You name the kind of pressure you're reducing. Picked one action, put it on a calendar, named what deserves respect, and named the rule that you're willing to question. That's a design decision. It changes how you meet the pressure without pretending the situation went anywhere. Here's the objection that shows up right about now. thinking that the action's too small to matter. So compare it to what it's actually designed to do. Sending one message is far too small to finish a major project. It might be exactly the right size to end 3 days of not knowing. Writing the numbers down won't create income. It might tell you which call comes first. An hour of rest won't fix a brutal month. It might keep exhaustion from making every decision worse than it needed to be. The other move to watch for is picking all 5. Clarify everything, complete everything, tell everyone, drop every burden, and build a support system before dinner. That's pressure pattern, wearing a worksheet. The page says 1 because reduction runs on accuracy, not volume. So before you put the page away, does your action respect the real problem? Or is it mostly trying to calm the rule? And is it small enough to finish and specific enough that you'll know when it's done? Moving forward, do the one thing you scheduled, then notice what changed. The whole problem is probably still there. The useful question is whether one layer got quieter or clearer or cheaper. Next episode, we're going to look at the shape of it. 8 structures that pressure builds through: proving, silence, collapse, a few others. You'll find the one you live in and the one that shows up right behind it. I'm ready when you are.